man, photogenic object, disfigured, lynching, trauma enough. The insight, the trauma representation, the action to the black child, devouring and identifying with the stories and into the white culture brought up.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of The Dave Show. I think it's a pretty good one. We're going to be touching a little bit on more of the Silent Riot. Apparently there's a phase 2 that is beginning or begun. I don't know, but I don't know. This whole thing is kind of silly. It's going to poo-poo out in like, I would say less than a month. But in any case, let's get to it, okay? Let's get to 6,000 subscribers. I know you can help me out to get to that milestone. It's a huge one for the channel. Let's go. All right, my friends. Let's do it. Pretty sure I'm free. Uh-oh, phase 2, here it is. I'm not. So phase 2 apparently has something to do with maple syrup and milk. Is that what they were trying to say? Or is it just to simply sign up to some website? I don't know what. I don't know what's going. How many phases are there to this whole movement? Anyways, apparently there's some march on planned on April 5th. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what else they have.
We will not be silenced. The Silent Riot has begun.
Right.
The Silent Riot has begun.
Okay.
We will not be silent.
Ooh, she's throwing stuff.
We will not be silent.
Ooh.
The Silent Riot has begun.
You're serious?
We will not be silent.
Oh. Okay, gotcha.
We will not be silent.
What?
The Silent Riot has begun.
Look, the Silent Riot may have begun, but I'm sorry, but I can't take somebody like that seriously, trying to be intimidating, you know? It doesn't work.
So what's this new thing, this new trend that you guys are doing on the left? You guys are doing the Quiet Riot coming up? Yeah, I'm all for that. Let's go back to the 80s. Best fucking decade ever. Quiet
yeah.
Riot. Woo! What? A silent riot? What the fuck is that? Is that where you like sit in a circle and you guys are just like silent and you just like shut the fuck up? Oh, well, yeah, that works. Okay, yeah, count me in on that one. Yeah, kind of like Quiet Riot, but Silent Riot, whatever shuts you up.
If you're still sitting around waiting for your moment,
I am kind of. Oh, okay,
the
cool.
Silent Riot has begun.
Oh, okay, right.
So many questions. One, do you guys not have anything better to do?
No.
I know that you really enjoy your protests and your dismantling of the oligarchy.
Yes, they get off
However, you don't have anything else you could do with your time. And
not really.
Bigger question, what is the goal? Like, what do you think is going to be achieved with the Silent Riot and the marches on April 5th? I have a newsflash for you, and you're gonna hate to hear it, but on April 6th and every day after that until 2028, Donald Trump is still your president.
We will not be silenced.
Oh, no.
It's time for the Silent
Riot. Very moody.
We will not be silent.
Oh.
The Silent Riot has begun.
Okay.
We will not be silent.
All right, we get it. Yeah.
The Silent Riot.
It's very, very dramatic of her. I'm with him.
They having a silent riot.
Yeah, this whole thing is just, it's all theater. Nothing is going to come of it. It's going to fade out just as fast as it sprung up. So, yeah, maybe they'll have their march. look, I think that'll be the bellwether on whether this movement is actually catching on and being successful or quasi successful. If on if on April 5th, like, I don't know, 200,000 or 300,000 people show up at this march, then I'll be like, okay, they've got something. They might do something for a little while. Maybe it'll last longer than a month, but it's not going to last for all 4 years of President Trump. They're delusional. Well, I mean, we know they are delusional, but this is an extra thing they're delusional about. So anyways, well, hey, listen, let's listen to Elon Musk and some of the crazy stuff he's found in government. It's kind of shocking. All right, let's take a look.
And I think it might be the biggest revolution in government since the original revolution. But at the end of the day, America is going to be in much better shape. America will be solvent.
Yeah.
The critical programs that people depend upon will work, and it's going to be a fantastic future. But are we going to get a lot of complaints along the way? Absolutely. You know, one of the things I learned at PayPal was who complains the loudest and with the most amount of fake righteous indignation? The fraudsters. It's a tell. There's some of these NGOs that are crazy, like the $2 billion to Stacey Abrams' NGO that basically didn't exist, and suddenly gets $2 billion awarded from the federal government. Why?
Exactly.
And there are many such cases like that.
Why? Yeah, it is amazing how many of these little, I don't even know if you could call them NGOs, but these little for-profit or non-profit, I guess it's non-profit, organizations just sprouted up out of absolutely nowhere and given some, benign name, like American, comforters or something. I don't know, like some benign name. Anyways, they end up getting like $2 billion, just like with Stacey Abrams, right? Didn't exist. It just popped up out of nowhere, and boom, they get $2 billion. Why? What are they doing? They're not doing anything. That organization she's involved with has done nothing. So it's just a laundering scheme, and it's one of the big, huge things that I think Doge is uncovering is just how many money laundering units have been set up within the government via departments, via NGOs, via these nonprofit whatever organizations that pop up literally out of nowhere and then get funding in huge amounts. It's all a scam. It's all a racket. It's all it's disgusting. And I'm glad we're getting, I mean, I really hope we're actually getting rid of this stuff, and it's not just like they're talking about it, but in reality, nothing has changed. I mean, I guess we'll see, but I hope these things are actually being eliminated. All right, let's take a look. This is another Tesla derangement syndrome case. This guy is, he's so stupid. Anyways, take a look. What is going on? Yeah, I don't know what that guy's thinking. He is pretty noticeable. I think he stands out, especially driving that little go-kart rig thing that he's got going on. I'm not quite sure what. They look pretty Jimmy rigged, like homemade maybe. I don't know, but apparently after he did this, he got stopped by the police, and he tried to give like some bogus name. But yeah, it's pretty. The guy was like, I guess he's like 5'2", 495 or something, 489. I don't know. He's really large. You can tell by the video. But anyways, just so you know, he got arrested, and hopefully he's gonna go to jail for a little while. I mean, what he did wasn't too egregious. I don't know what kind of damage he did, if much of any, to whatever Tesla vehicle he rammed into, but I mean, he needs to go away to jail for at least a little bit of time. These people need to be made an example of, but yeah. I don't know what they're thinking. They're so deranged.
I spent the last 5 months preparing for a life abroad, collecting vital documents, original birth certificates, marriage certificates of family members for ancestry, for a dual citizenship. Got a realtor, started the process of putting our house on the market.
Wow.
And after 5 months, my husband doesn't think he can do it. And the remain seeing the decline of his mental health in all of this. We've been together for 15 years. We've never had a screaming fight. We don't curse at each other. This is the biggest disconnect we've ever had. And for the first time, I don't feel safe. And he swears he can keep us safe, but he can't.
Oh,
and I don't know what to do. I don't want to lose him. I don't want my kids to lose their freedoms.
What?
I don't know what to do.
What freedoms?
We weren't supposed to be in this timeline.
This is so typical of a lefty, right? She says that her husband is the one that has the mental decline because all of a sudden he snaps to reality and is like, what the freak are you doing, woman? We're not going to sell our house and move to Canada or wherever she was thinking, totally upheave their life and transplant it into some other country just because she's actually the one that's mentally ill. She thinks that her freedoms are going to be lost, that her kids' freedoms are going to be stripped away. That is delusional mental decline if I've ever seen it. She is tapped in hard to that hive mind. She has been programmed by the mainstream media and the message, right? I feel sorry for her and I feel sorry for her family, but she's the one that needs to go see a psychiatrist, not her husband, because she is the one suffering from TDS and other things, I'm sure. My gosh, woman, just...
I'm a federal worker, and the Trump administration at my job, at my department, is ignoring the collective bargaining agreement, our union's agreements, and they're forcing people back into the office.
Oh, no.
It's unlawful, and it's horrible, and it's going to drive everybody's expenses up.
It's horrible.
But also, it's going to drive the department's budget up as well, because we receive Metro benefits, and we receive a Capital Rideshare benefits as well. So they pay for us. They pay for us to ride the Metro to work, and they also pay for us to use bikes. So if they're forcing people to come into the office, then they're going to have to be paying people those Metro benefits and those Capital Rideshare benefits. So they're trying to save money, but they're not really saving money because people are entitled to those benefits. If you work from a laptop at home, it's the same thing as sitting on your laptop in the office.
No, it's not.
No difference.
No, my dear, there is a big difference between working from home and working at the office. You're going to be just more productive when you're actually at work in your work environment around the people that you work with, right? I mean, that's just common sense. But what is this I hear about the taxpayers paying for you to take the bus and for your coworkers to ride a bike? What? That, I don't know. I mean, I think you need to be back in the office, but I don't think that should be a perk, okay? I don't think that should be part of... No, I don't want to pay for you to take the bus or to ride a bike. Give me a break. That needs to be cut.
I was just sitting here thinking about Pete Hegseth and TikTok.
Okay.
And I realized something. That TikTok is the social media version of Pete Hegseth. Right?
What? What are you talking about? I'm not getting the correlation between Pete Hegseth and TikTok. Unless you're saying that TikTok is a totally badass warrior that loves his country and is patriotic in every fiber of his being. But I don't think that's what you're saying. But I'm not exactly sure what you're saying, so...
No, KKK Caroline. I would rather trust a fart during a flu episode shitting my brains out than trust Pete Hegseth. stupid frat boy, peaked in high school, wannabe Proud Boy motherfucker. I would rather trust that than trust him.
Really? Come on, lady. Look, Pete Hegseth has honorably served our country.
The last few days in the U.S. have been such an incredibly wild ride. I'm actually curious if what has happened in the group chat has made world news. For those of you who do not know, there was a group chat discussing highly classified and sensitive information that was spread to somebody, a reporter, who had no business knowing this information. And the Republicans, MAGA specifically, is doing everything in its power to cover it up and sweep it under the rug. This is one of the greatest offenses that could possibly occur, and they're trying to make it seem like it's no big deal.
Yeah, it isn't.
How many times have you all heard me say that just when I think they can't go any lower, the bottom drops out? This is that case. This is a situation, if it happened to anybody else, it would be a game ender. But right now, the massive cover-ups are occurring. I know many of us in the U.S. should not be surprised by this, but still, there is no bottom. There's no bottom.
Look, again, this is really a nothing burger. No top secret information was provided during that Signal group chat. No military members were killed because, in a direct correlation, because of the Signal chat, right? There was nothing there. It's not a big deal. Let's move on. And I think we should. But of course, the left won't. They will just cling to this nothing burger because it's the only thing they have to eat. It's the only meal they've been given for a few months now since Trump has taken office. So I don't know. We'll see where the frenzy, the media frenzy, takes us, because it's going to be to La La Land.
Trump's been president for about a month now. Do you think that he's making America great or worse?
Terrible.
Terrible. And he's done a lot of things in the last month. Is there anything in particular that you can say, okay, this is making America worse?
I feel like everything in office that he's done, I don't think he's done anything beneficial. He's taking away the funding for literally everything. People that live off, survive off benefits from welfare, taking away those benefits.
Can I ask you, has he done any of that, like taking benefits away from like SNAP, for example, or Medicare or Medicaid?
He put a pause on it.
On Medicaid and Social Security services and SNAP?
He put on the pause for the SNAP benefits. It was other benefits as well. I don't remember the whole list.
In reality, the SNAP program still exists. There's no federal freeze right now on any federal programs that are necessary for Americans. There's a freeze on foreign aid, specifically by an organization called USAID, that, since $2.2 million of your taxpayer money to Colombia to subsidize drag queen shows. Do you think that's good for your friend or for yourself to do that kind of stuff?
She has no clue.
Right.
Exactly.
Would you rather that $2.2 million be invested in American organizations that can benefit you and your friends?
Yes.
That's actually what is happening right now. There's a lot of misinformation out there right now that SNAP and all these various American necessary programs have been cut, but that hasn't happened whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of misinformation out there. It's because students like that and a lot of people, all they do is watch MSNBC and CNN. And all they do is just lie and twist the messaging, and it's really sad because people, if they're following those news outlets, and I use news very loosely, they're not getting the truth. I'm sorry, they're not, and they're being lied to consistently. And no wonder they think Trump is doing a horrible job. And that he's cutting all these benefits. It's because that's what those news organizations have told them. And it's simply not true.
Election integrity. I hope that y'all have seen the reports from cybersecurity experts that they've released analyses of election data out of Clark County, Nevada that shows some pretty convincing evidence of election tampering. My biggest fear is that we're not going to make it to the midterms. So what can we do to make sure, A, that the midterms actually happen, and B, that they're free of fraud.
Yeah. Well, this one's the core. We saw just recently Donald Trump's executive order to make it more difficult, specifically to women, trying to make it more difficult for women to be able to vote.
What?
We see one of the first things they do is try and restrict the vote. This is one of the things, though, that this is going to take power to the streets. I don't know what the answer is on this.
What? Oh, yeah. Of course, now it's okay to bring up election fraud and throw accusations around willy-nilly. What they're really saying is, hey, listen, how can we get to the midterms when we get there? How can we make it so that we can just cheat again and just totally rig the election to our favor? Because this whole fair voting thing is just not working to our benefit. That's totally what that lady was saying in reality. And what is Walt saying? Like, they're trying to suppress the vote? Are you kidding me? Trying to stop women? How in the world is Trump or anybody in his cabinet trying to suppress the woman vote, the women's vote, the vote of women? That's so retarded. I don't even know where to begin with that, because that is not happening. It is just the opposite. We want everyone to vote. We want everybody to vote fairly, and we want to make it easier for everybody to vote. Oh, man, these Democrats, I tell you, they just, whatever the truth is, they say the opposite every single time.
You know, someone I really love and very close to told me that he's a Trump supporter. I was really shocked, of course.
Of course.
And I asked him why. And he said it's because it's better for the economy. You know what? I just thought to myself, money becomes so important that human rights and building a world where everyone has equal rights is just not important anymore? Is this the state of the human race? Have we prioritized capitalism and buying things so much that we don't care about actual human beings? What about women? What about trans people? What about queer people? What about racial minorities? What about the less privileged? Why are we all aspiring for more money?
Yeah.
What, to buy more things we don't need? What about our humanity? I just don't get it. I really don't. Respectfully, I really don't understand.
Well, I mean, the reality is that we need money to be able to survive, to live a comfortable life, to pay our bills. You know, I mean, we're kind of slaves to the job, right? And until something changes in the future, maybe once all the robots take over, we'll get like that, what is that, the universal income or whatever they're talking about. I mean, who knows what the near future is going to hold. But right now, yeah, we need money, unfortunately. And again, these rights that you think have been taken away or being diminished for certain groups, it's just not true. Everybody has the freedom to live their life the way they want to. And that's just, I mean, that's just how it is. I don't know what else to say. It's all okay, my man. It's all okay. Just calm down and take a breath, okay?
It's the first day back from spring break and I'm already over it. I haven't even taught my first class yet. I just got an email saying or reminding me that quarter grades for report cards must be 50% or higher.
Oh, man.
You cannot fix this at this time, but please remember going forward submitting your grades. Let me tell you, I had a girl start in mid-February. She came to class for 2 days. I worked with her closely. We completed one assignment. Never saw the girl again.
Jeez.
Never. So she did that one assignment out of the 20 assignments we did. Obviously, she was exempted from things that she wasn't present for beforehand. So things from January and early February, she never was graded for. That's fine. She was exempted. Won't affect her grade.
Sure. We'll give her that. We'll give her that.
But I'm supposed to give her a 50 for doing one assignment out of, let's say, 10 assignments that she should have been doing? No doctor's note to excuse her or anything for the other absences. I barely know this girl's face. But she's supposed to have a 50. Her raw score is a 16. That's what I put in.
Wow.
I can't do it. Another girl got a 32 because she's absent all the time. Another boy I gave a 36 because he sleeps in class all the time and doesn't do anything. And another boy got a 46.
Wow.
Again, absent all the time, doesn't do anything.
That's
I'm
frustrating.
actually about to cry because I hate the education system right now. And I don't think it's for me. If we're just giving kids 50s as a baseline, you should be ashamed that you have a 16. Or that's
yeah,
just,
you should.
I gotta go.
And this is exactly why the Department of Education needs to be dismantled completely. All that money and power, whatever, given back to the states. I think the teachers union, I think that needs to be severed because they're just too entangled with how things are run, I think, with the education of this country. The proof is in the pudding. Our students don't know anything in some areas, right? In some places. And it's sad. And it's totally sad that instead of whoever upper management in the school system sent out this email, instead of saying, hey, you know what? Let's work to get that kid that has the 16 or the 32, let's get them up to a legitimate, like, I don't know, let's say like 65. I mean, that may be setting the bar too high, but let's actually work with them and try to get them to an actual like 65 instead of just saying 50. That means that we can pass them on to the next grade. We can dump them off onto somebody else, and we'll move them through the system. We'll get our money, and all is good for us, right? For whoever the management is, or I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. Education in so many of the states just needs to be overhauled, and I feel for this teacher. I'm confident she is not the only one that is probably in the exact same boat, and feels like, why even bother teaching? Because all you're going to do is just give them a minimum passing grade and shuffle them off to the next chump. So what can you do?
Trump is a piece of shit. I work in special education. It's just looking really dark, and I'm afraid.
Yeah, I noticed your pants. You buy these like these, or did you make?
I made them with my second pregnancy. I literally bled out. I had a life-saving surgery that women in other states are no longer allowed to have.
Okay, what surgery is that?
So I had my placenta was detached, and I was bleeding through the placenta, and it put the fetus at risk. And if you're putting the fetus at risk, they don't want to have the surgery that'll save your life. And this is what women are going to look like. We're going to see a lot more of this.
Why? Because women can't get an abortion?
Because anytime a woman goes to the hospital and they're pregnant, they're not allowed to be touched by doctors. Doctors are afraid to touch women.
What?
You're not following.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I haven't heard of that law where they're like afraid to touch women. Do you believe in abortion? You believe we should have access to it?
I believe everybody should mind their own business. If you don't want an abortion, don't have an abortion.
What is an abortion?
A termination of a pregnancy?
Some people say that it kills the baby in the termination. Would you agree with that?
Who are you?
My name is Amber Cove. I'm with Feminist Resist.
Okay, I don't think it's killing. What did you ask me? Do I believe
killing a baby?
No.
Okay. How is it not?
At the beginning of life, a baby can't survive outside a woman's body. What are you saying? Like that's life?
Science says it's life because it's growing and they have their own DNA. And
you just said it was life. You said at the beginning of life, the baby can't survive outside the womb. So by your own admission, it's already a life. So where's the confusion here? I don't I don't get it.
Chromosomes.
Yeah.
So at what point would it not be okay to get an abortion, in your opinion?
I don't think I want to answer your questions anymore. You're making me uncomfortable. Like,
oh, I'm just standing here.
Yeah, it's okay.
I know abortion is really uncomfortable. I know that.
Maybe I'm not the most articulate person.
Yeah. Definitely not.
And of course, when the conversation starts to butt up too much to reality, they always have to like run away because they actually don't believe in any of this stuff in their heart. I don't think they're just spouting talking points, and it's just sad that so many people in this country have been completely brainwashed and are part of this baby killing cult, that they believe it's okay to kill a baby instead of letting it live, bringing it to term, and if you don't want it, just put it up for adoption. And I know the adoption process is not the best. There's things that need to be worked out. I know that people have told me in the comments, but I think if you don't want it, you really should bring it to term and just give it up for adoption. There are families out there that are willing to adopt that baby and give it the love and nurturing that it deserves.
We are standing on the precipice of the annihilation of our Constitution.
Oh, of course.
Fascist Trump regime.
Right. Yeah.
Having ICE, aka the American Gestapo, go in and kidnap people.
What?
Because they either went to a Palestinian protest, or they write a paper, or they disagree with this administration in any way. It started with undocumented immigrants. They came after them. Then they started coming after the documented immigrants and the visa holders on student visas and work visas. And they started coming after them. You know what's next? Naturalized citizens.
Oh, okay.
The people who have attained their citizenship, if they post anything about not agreeing with this administration. And then you know what's after that?
Right.
American citizens that were born here.
Of course.
That's the progression that is happening right now. So if you're not concerned by this in any way,
not really,
there's something wrong with you, because they are dismantling our democracy and laughing at our Constitution, and they are just doing whatever the fuck they want to do.
Sure.
So every person in this country, undocumented or not, is legally entitled to due process.
No.
And the way that they are rounding up and kidnapping people, detaining them, and shipping them to detention centers across the country, and then stripping them out of the country without their due process is highly fucking illegal.
No.
Highly illegal. It is a violation of their rights.
They don't have any rights.
I don't know why people aren't making a bigger deal of this, but they need to, because this is fucked up.
Look, if you're an illegal immigrant, if you cross the border illegally into our country, you have no rights. None. You don't have due process. It doesn't exist for you. You're out. If they catch you, you're done, son. You're done. Kidnapping? Really? Look, if you are pro-Hamas and you support a terrorist organization, you're done. I don't care if you're, I don't care if you're legal or not. That is not cool. And that is something that will definitely get you arrested. You don't support terrorist organizations. You don't support organizations that kill Americans, that support killing Americans, that support killing Jews, that support killing anybody. If you do that, you're like I said, you're done. Okay? End of story. And I'm glad we're finally starting to do that. I don't know, maybe I'm a bad guy. Let me know in the comments.
Oh, you are a hot slut who prioritizes their healing and wellness no matter what anyone says. You are going to do great this week.
Ouch. Okay, that's got to be a troll, but in any case, that was a little hard to watch. I apologize.
Yeah, you don't look like it. Why are you hiding your faces? Why are you hiding your faces?
Because they don't want to be doxxed. They need their anonymity to be able to do their jobs? You moron? What are you talking about?
Can I see some faces here? How do I know this is the police?
Really?
Seems like bullshit to me.
Well, you're
Certainly
wrong.
looks like it. Bit of a kidnapping going on here?
What? Really? Really? You think that's what's going on here? You're a moron. If you think that. Really? They're just nonchalantly walking out there, just casually strolling their kidnapped victim into the vehicle? Give me a break, you stupid idiot. My gosh. People. He's probably a college student. He's definitely a lefty. I guarantee it. All right. So this is exactly what the lady with the big, huge blue glasses was talking about. A kidnapping. Look, it was not a kidnapping. This was ICE, and the person that was being hauled off was this, I believe she was a Hamas supporter, and I think she was on a student visa or something. Anyways, that visa has now been revoked because of her pro-Hamas, pro-terrorist support, and her pro just activities that were anti-American. And so, yeah, if you do that kind of stuff, you F around, you find out, right? Fafo. Anyways, this is a good thing, and I'm glad another one's off the board.
The more you f around, the more you're going to find out.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you call yourself an ally to trans people and you have a real live trans person in your life, why are you inviting someone who you know is super overtly transphobic to the same gathering that you're inviting your trans friend or relative to? Don't do that. Don't intentionally put your trans friend or relative in a space where they will be made to feel uncomfortable or possibly even unsafe around someone who you know to be transphobic. And I hope that that person who is transphobic that's in your life, you are having some serious conversations with about that issue. Happy holidays.
Well, here's another case where the trans Tifa, although he doesn't really look like he's a really violent person. He's not probably part of that part of the delusional cult. But in any case, you know, he's trying to say, hey, listen, you need to bend the knee. You need to buy into the delusion. If the man is a woman, or if they think they're a woman, or if it's a woman that thinks they're a man, whatever the case is, they expect you to use the proper pronouns, to say and acknowledge and accept that they are what they are not, to say 2 + 2 = 5. And I think we're done with that. What do you think? Let me know.
I believe that reparations in and of itself, it's kind of a reverse inheritance, if that makes sense. Like me personally, yes, I did not have to suffer through Jim Crow, slavery, or whatever, but all those choices that were made in those times have like gotten necessarily me to where I'm at now.
So we as conservatives tend to underemphasize this idea of many legacies of suffering. Whereas people on the left, not saying you're on the left, but the other perspective, tend to emphasize that you are stuck because of something that happened to you many generations prior. Where do you draw the line? Who defines it? And also, why would you tax, for example, somebody like me? My ancestors fought on the Union side of the Civil War. So I got to go pay more money, even though my ancestors did the right thing. Here's the more important thing that I think we can agree on. That we should have a opportunity colorblind compact.
Yes.
We need to have school choice in this country so kids can go to better schools and have more mobility, reconstitute the black family. And finally, this is one that you might agree on. We need to no longer import foreigners that are going to undercut the wages of workers of all races, especially black Americans. The country I grew up in, at least, was like, yeah, you're black, but it doesn't matter. Exactly. It's not the most important thing. Instead, it's, are you a good person? How do you act? How do you treat other people? Like, what is your worldview? I want to get back to that. Of course, we're still going to see differences, but I want to de-emphasize them to a place where we look at each other as fellow human beings and fellow American citizens.
Yeah, that was exactly the upbringing that I had. There weren't a lot of Latinos or people of color in my neighborhood. There were none, I don't think, in my elementary school. There were a couple in my junior high, and there were a few more when I got to high school. But that didn't matter at all. Like, we always looked at each other as people. Like, we never even brought up race. It was never an issue. I don't understand where all this fear-mongering about race and identity politics, I don't understand how it started to creep into things, because it was never an issue when I was growing up. I'm Gen X, and I'm sure a lot of other Gen Xers have the exact same experience growing up. It's just sad that there are some people, and there are a lot of them, I think, that just look through that lens of color, and that's all they see. Oh my gosh, what? What is going on in the UK? Huh. You know, I don't know what to say about the UK. They seem to actually be like, I don't want to say devolving, but there are, there's a huge, of course they can't get weapons, guns very easily there in the UK, but they can get knives and they can get swords. And apparently the UK is now, either they've passed or they're submitting a proposal to ban swords and sword type instruments because it is just getting ridiculous. Like, are they going to start wearing suits of armor next, carrying around, full-blown swords and stuff? I don't know, but yeah, things are coming to a boiling point, I think, in the UK, and something I think bad is probably going to happen before they start changing their ways, but I don't know, we'll see.
You know what, you guys are on the right side.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We should be eliminating the Department of Education as well if they want to.
Yeah.
It's clearly not doing much as of late.
Wow, shockingly, this guy actually said something correct for once. I totally agree. The Department of Education needs to be gone.
No arguing it. Towson University's debate team wins, claiming an historic win. They are the first all-black women's team to win the Cross-Examination Debate Association's national championship. This morning, we have two of the team members here. We have Amina Ruffin and Corey Johnson, both here to talk about the major victory. Ladies, way to go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've made so many people proud in this area. Now we want to pick your brain a little bit as we admire your huge trophy, by the way. That's ridiculous. But I'm going to ask you first. We'll start with you, Amina.
Ridiculous.
What was the topic, first of all?
The topic was restricting presidential war powers authority.
They say the nigga's always already queer. That's exactly the point. It means that the impact is not, that is an impact turn to the that it is a case turn to the affirmative, because we are saying that queer bodies are not able to survive the necessary reason the body of the nigga is not able to survive.
We got the topic in about July, and we started doing our research then.
When the nigga sees these pains and suffering, that he can only envision himself, that he does not see another nigga that he can feel sympathy for or embrace, but rather that otherness gets obliterated.
We've been supplementing our research throughout the season.
What is going on here?
Lynching trauma enough, the insight, the trauma representation, the central to the black child, devouring and identifying with the stories and images the white culture brought up to think and act subjectively like a white man, the black man.
So where do you go from there? When you start preparing for a national competition,
wow.
Once you know the topic, what's next?
Well, you do a lot of research.
A lot of research? Are you kidding me? What? Were you even debating anybody? Was there anybody across the table from you? Because that was absolutely atrocious. If there was an actual other team they were competing against, that team was absolutely robbed, okay? Because are you kidding me? I think a group of 5th graders, 4th graders could have done a better job debating against this team, and they got the trophy. National champions? Are you serious? That was a pure theft. I'm sorry, but that was ridiculous.
Okay, but why did you vote him in?
Okay.
What was your reasoning for voting him in? If you want me to be quiet, shut me up and give me facts. Give me articles. Show me that Donald Trump's not going to ruin our country.
Okay.
Because it's only been, what, November, December, January, February, March, 5 months? 5 months since he's been in office.
What?
And things are going to shit.
So it sounded like you wanted to have an actual intelligent conversation a little bit of why you wanted receipts. You wanted to do the research, but you showed that you're just an idiot babbling on TikTok or whatever, because you actually think that Donald Trump took office the day he got voted in, the day he won the election. That didn't happen until January, late January, lady. Okay, so your math is way off because you have no idea conceptually what even happened from the election. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, these people. How can you be that dumb? I don't know.
It's time for Dave's Detox.
Oh yeah, looking good there, buddy. Oh gosh. What? Wow. That'd be... What are you supposed to do? Just wait for the snakes to leave. Oh. Fell a little short. Oh, nice. Wow. What? I've never seen a dog go that far underwater. That's amazing.
Try to call with their wife ever, and you have this going on. Get out of here.
Oh, come on. He just wants to cuddle, too. Uh-oh. Oh, don't let him in.
And watch him here.
Don't let that horse in.
Don't be biting my baby, too.
Come on, you can do it, buddy.
You gotta go around. Surely.
Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, okay, they're just blurring out the screen. What the heck? Poor guy. Aw, what a cutie. Nice. Aw, he's adorable. Okay. It's like, enough of the kisses. Enough of the kisses. Yeah, I know. I love you too. Oh, geez. Come on. Don't put stuff like that on cats. Because this is exactly what... It's like... That's horrible. That's pretty horrible. Hey, buddy. Aww. Aww. Oh, nice donkey. Hey there, buddy. Smile. All right. Well, hey, that was a good detox as always. And I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you got something out of it. And maybe, hopefully got a laugh or something, some kind of entertainment. If you did, please subscribe, like, share, slap that bell around. And of course, until we meet again in the next episode, stay safe. Know that you are loved and appreciated. And until we meet again, have a great day.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.